G'day YouTube, we're back again with episode 3 of We Get All the Industry Mods, and I'm Gordon Pilcher. You figure that out, you should have, if you'd read, you would have seen my name attached to the video anyway. That was probably a little bit rude, but anyway, it wasn't meant to be rude, it was meant to be a little bit tired of saying my name over. Had a phone call earlier today. I had to give my ID to a bank person that sort of rattled my chain a bit. You had to repeat everything 10,000 times. Anyway, that's not your problem. We're back into this. Now let's... Well, we've got two farms. And we got it's actually a third farm, really. It's a flex farm, which gives us some, we got a, oh, it's U2. Oh, cool, we get a faster train, a better train. That looks good. And what we get here, a sandpit. No, we're not going to go and play in it. We're going to extract sand from it. So those are all the industries in this location. Well, what we will do, first of all, we'll go to the Boutree Rural Farm number 2 and connect that up. And then we can get some grain and whatchamacallit. It might help if we finished off here correctly, mightn't it? Because for things to operate, we want continuity in the line. I probably still would have made it because the other roads were connected, but yeah. Now, see where did that go? We're primarily bringing product from that point. Now, Danny Min made an interesting point concerning these farms. It will primarily ship what is required most. I've had a little bit of a play, and I did eventually get it to I didn't record it in another video in another game I was playing. I did get it to move the milk in the wool, but it took a bit of time for those to actually. Why did I do that? Isn't somebody watching? Keeping an eye on what I'm up to? So don't do that. Right. Now. Okay, we'll put our road depot in here. Might just move that, stretch this bit of road along a bit further. Not with that we won't, but with this we will. We'll sling our road depot in here. And I've got a really cool one by Huge Dragon, which is a service station road depot, and it looks kind of cool. Except it would look a bit strange back in 1850. It's got a KFC attached to it. I do not know that Colonel Sanders was operating. He might have been born in 1850 because he was pretty old. We've got plenty of vehicles. But I don't think he was selling 11 spices of chicken with 11 herbs and spices at that point in time. So it would look kind of odd if it was here already. With this industry mod, the interesting thing is some of these are date dependent. Like the oil wells don't come online. Have a look on the map. There are no oil wells currently on. The only fuel that will be there is probably a gasification system. Which uses coal, so we obviously do an extract using coal to get gas. I'm not exactly 100% sure on that. And gasification sounds pretty impressive, doesn't it? Now we're going to be taking grains of there. Now what I'm going to do is, just so we don't end up, because we're using vehicles that can move literally any kind of product, we really only want just taking grain up to here. So we'll set that on the line. We can only pick up. Now we never produce a lot of alcohol, so don't need to put, huge numbers of vehicles on it. It's going to ship grain because there is a need for grain, because we've got that there. I think there was something else somewhere that puts a requirement on. Oh yeah, we've got grain for here. Oh yeah, this cattle farm puts a requirement on the grain, so it will produce grain first, and then the other products will be available and will start to produce as the requirement comes online for them. Why do I connect to a one of the requirements for the textile factories, you do need to move cattle, because the cattle has to go to slaughterhouse, where you get the slaughterhouse not only produces meat, it also produces leather. So there is that. Now we also want this flex farm. I don't know that it'll produce for a bit, but I can place a textile industry on the map if I choose to, being in sandbox mode. We'll just see how this works for a start. The idea is we want to try and move as much as we can, even though we're not, doing it primarily for what colour was that? Oh, that pinky colour. Oh, we don't want them. They really do not carry much flax at all. Well, unless it's already woven into clothing and on the backs of people. Need a sort of bus line in there, and as well as the logistics. Just to get these industries operating for a start. Now this stuff's going to go to Conmat, so is this thing going to pull up this end of the map? They do prioritise some of them. Whereabouts in the map they'll send there. It's probably not going to move a lot. It may. There is another instruction. Yeah, that one's not requiring any sand, so you actually get several variations of Conmat. Pretty create a line for that, hadn't I? I don't think I did. Well, I had actually. I don't need that one there again. Did I put vehicles on the line? A little bit carried away there. No, I haven't put any vehicles on it. When I'm running this, the horse and carts, I tend to just do an average of about 6 vehicles generally. You can always whittle them down as you go by, you know, as time goes by. When you get to when you get more progressive type vehicles. The trucks and you wouldn't do this if you were paying for money because they just run at a loss on you. Where are our trains? We've got a freight train coming through. Actually, I think I can upgrade those trains actually. I've got new vehicles now. I don't want that. I want to find the not that one at this stage. Easy way to find your trains is do this. Now I'm going to double the amount of traction I have here because 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now these are great, those wagons, because you can move a lot of, you know, as you can see, a lot of stuff through them. 2, 3, 4. Well, you'll notice that a lot of the rolling stock actually. Now this here is interesting. Not only can it carry the livestock, but it can carry grain and have you a mental blank there for a minute? Get out of the way a minute. Yeah, the fodder. So you want to have a good look to see what's on your tray, because sometimes they gets cluttered with the extra rolling stock. So it's got 20 iron ore on it. Now there may be some stone up this other end by the time it gets up. Maybe stone. No stone. Well, I don't have enough wagons really to pick up. Now this is where you get with these older trains. You got to be a little bit careful. They can end up quite long, and then the back end of them will hang out over this here, and the thing won't return. You know, we hadn't finished upgrading those trains, had I? Right, that one. And I'm going to go, these are bigger, and I'll go for 6 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we've got the ones on the main trunk line, which we probably we don't want to do that. We'll upgrade those at the same time. So just keep an eye on that there. Now some of these, like that one will pick up clay and bauxite. We don't have bauxite as yet. Well, that one does too. This one does 6. One does 6. So what's the disadvantage with one over the other? There's none. Okay, we're up to 200 metres, and that's plenty long enough. Oh, darn it, I only put a... Hang on, see if I can get another logo on here. Yeah, it stuffed it right at the very back. That's a pain, I've got to move it along with it. And what I'll do is I'll just get out of there for a minute. Close those. And we'll do it the hard way. There's 2 different box cars there actually carry different items, so that's the reason why I've got the 2. I didn't mean to do that. Now we want to upgrade this other passenger service. It's going to always be limited until I extend that line, but I'll now work this one here for the primarily the reason why I did this line was I wanted to, I'm after these tools and the iron ore. As yet I'm not producing any steel. None of the iron ore is right back here enough yet. Let's close that. That's not noisy in my ear. Got plenty of coal there, but no iron ore as yet. He moved, didn't he? Oh, yeah, we are moving it. We do have bricks. A bundle of bricks sitting here. He's returning. We're not. I've got 12 bricks at 33. Now, see, it's interesting. It's that is, you got to have that and that and that and that to produce an item. It's not producing anything yet. It's got to send it all the way down to here. Now, I don't think this has received anything yet. Yeah, the idea is to try and produce as much of each thing as you possibly can. But like with anything, if all your forests are down the other end of the map somewhere, can make it a little bit difficult. Now that won't be operating because it's only just those farms have only just come online. We have some grain sitting here waiting. Not huge amounts of it, but we do have some. It's going to be annoying actually. It's either going to drop some of that iron ore off. I don't think it's got enough wagons on it to pick up the... And it's only showing 4 iron ore. So you've got 4 iron ore, so it has got room to take on grain. So that's okay. We're not totally you know, out of whack. That's what I find, you know, if I wouldn't like to play at full cost. Trying to move some of the stuff, you know. I think it was in Train Fever or Transport Fever 1, I don't remember now, a long time ago. You could take a piece of rolling stock and say you got 6 box cars. You could determine what went into each box car. In this case, you can't, as you saw. That's interesting. So what it does there, because I need that in line, because when we get steel, we need to stop there. Again, it'll do a priority thing. Where's the train? It'll do a priority thing and it will drop stuff, you know, stuff around the place, and eventually it works out, but it just takes a bit of time for it to work its way through it. Now what's going to happen when those trains come back to here, because our cattle farm is off this, you know, being, it's connected to, you know, it would work. It's going to have to, the grain's got to come all the way back to here to feed that. So where's our next town on from here? Now I can actually access a couple more farms up here, and take that other side of that branch line which we put in here. I'm still trying to determine here which way I'm going to go. thing is I can have just a short, just a short branch line with a single freight train and single passenger train, and the same down to here. So this here can be multiple platforms. Let's give it a shot and see what it does. Yeah. How well is that going to sit in there? Oh, darn it, I don't have the there is a mod where I can actually level the platform out to match the contour of the ground, and unfortunately I didn't install it. I do have it, but it's just not installed. And I think with some of those mods they don't always it's going to be an awfully short. You see the problem there I've got. Well, hang on. Just trying to do some labeling here. Let's see what we come up with. It might work. Now let's just soften those edges up a bit. Raise them up. Now we'll see our station's going to sit flat in there now. So, we'll go to reason being is that I'm going to just out of curiosity, something here. Let me just check. Oh, the passenger is on that side of the. Because I thought I might have to show. I was saying earlier in one of the other previous videos where there's a way to switch trains quite easily. Using those track patterns. Like I don't have to maintain the configuration I've got here. I can swap it around at any point. But there will be a moment where we do that, so stay tuned. Now, it's actually quite simple and it works really, really well. Right. Another freight platform. These modular stations are a real added benefit. You know, the old ones we had, ended up, trying to this compacts the whole transport thing in the town. So in that respect, it works out. There's a real bonus. Excuse me. Alright, that's that done. And we just need the last side of the platform here. I don't have both sides. It it'll be a little bit of a hamstringer, but it will only drop product off at where there is a platform beside the line. Okay. Now I'm gonna want to put my cargo depot in. The reason I do a lot of this sort of stuff is to down the track for aesthetics. You want to put a tire, and make it look aesthetically pleasing. You can fill all those gaps in with asphalt. It's not that it's not imperative that you sort of do it that, you know. Is that going to be in the way? Yeah, it was going to be in the way. I've got to get the dog leg thing in here again. Let's just fix that. I'd keep an eye on that time. I don't want to be going excessively long with it. I'm trying to think what it was on when I started. I'll pick that up there. That'll work. And do that, turn that on. Not pretty, but not everything in the real world is always pretty. Now we're going to be going back to doing our normal thing here. No, I haven't got too many lines ahead. Just heard somebody think that. No, I haven't, and you'll see in a minute. Well, I don't like the look of that. So I might do some landscaping again. Yeah, I will. I'm not very partial to having tunnels right on the end of my platforms. Sometimes they look good, but invariably they can be a bit of a pain. The best way to do this is to come right back down to here and pull that line up. And we want 4 lines. So that's going to work. This will work. Alright, there's not much of running commentary I can give you on this part. And I'm going to split these. Right, this is where these things can work with you or they can work against you. Wanting to actually I'm pulling it around a bit straighter than that. Come round onto it about there. And you'll see in a minute I have a method to my madness. Now we're going to go back to 2 lines again. Now one of these is because it's actually a feeder line to get separate lines going out of these. Now let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Now I'm going to take that and flip it the opposite direction, go left instead of right. Like I say, most of these mods are available on Steam, the Steam Workshop, so I mean, I know to find these you're looking for track patterns. I don't remember every modder's name unfortunately. What I'll do at some stage, we'll go into my map builder and we'll go down through and have a look at some of the stuff that's listed so there's, and I can probably explain which ones are which. Now we just want to smooth it out, make it look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Now theoretically we can bring a line to that point and build out from there with those other 2 branch lines. Right, it's been a long day. Now ears before F, and that's what we'll do the passenger. That won't show up just yet, you won't see it until it gets up to here. Right, it's going to pick the centre one. Well, that's okay, I have no problem with doing that. It should run off line 3 here. Again, this is this It always works, which is why I always do it. If it works and it's not broken, keep using it, you know. Have you got a better system? That's great. I'm not saying my method is the only foolproof way, but when you find something, you tend to stick with it. I'm going to try and pull that to that. And go to 2. Another one should be on 2 as well. That would have been dumb. I could have done it through where I had it. It wants to be on 4. That's how the trains will continue. No, this one. Let's go back in and fix that up. It wants to be on 3 here. Well, I'm happy with that. I still have a free line there for both passenger and freight. If I so wish, if I so choose to, let's just, I'll set a passenger train going first. I'll use one of the ones that already, hang on. It doesn't really matter which ones I use, they're both the same. All essentially I'm doing is I'm bypassing going back here and clicking on buying the train, because I'm duplicating them. I'm not doing something that's completely weird, even though it might look a bit weird. Basically I'm trying to keep all the lines the same at this stage. Now, these 2 centre lines here, what I am going to do, this might seem a little bit odd, but when I've done this it's always worked. We just build that out a bit further. Where do I want to cut across? Okay, about there. Ah, that was stupid. We don't want 3 lines, we want 4. Otherwise it defeats the purpose of having all this stuff in here. Where's the end of it? I can't see because of that tree. That's the first branch line there. And what? Now these others will connect to it, I'll show you in a minute. Excusing me. This line here is the main line that sort of continues on. I can do this one of 2 ways. I can. Sometimes this works. No, I didn't draw the second line. Done it okay a couple of times for me. But not every time. I partly did it, there we go, but we got that line didn't grab there. Is it there properly? No, it's not. Sometimes we've got to go back to the old system. It might be just a graphical problem. I think it's all there. Yeah, it is there. I can get the double switch on it. We're going to do the same at this end here, on this side. This will bring the passenger. What it's going to do is allow me to use the two outer platforms to that wasn't very bright, was it? Allow me the two outer platforms for the branch lines. Okay, we're going to resort to the old system. I'm looking for the blue line. Yeah, that's interesting. That's not why I don't like doing individual lines, is that stuff there. It irritates me. Now let's see if we can, oh, that's ugly. That is just ridiculously ugly. It has to go. That is not how I like it. They should all be even. But anyway, if I'd planned it a bit better, I would have had the... I could have, you know, I had to go a little bit straighter with it. Could have had a track pattern in there. That's what happens when you don't do things right, you know. You get a bit bodgy with stuff. Yeah, I don't want that looking like that. want this one here. So that one's going to go off across that road. Now, you pick up the form. We're going to go a little bit further around the curve here before we swing off down to Prudhoe, I would imagine it's pronounced. No, you can't do that. You're not allowed. That is an absolute no-no. Ugly. Now this is one of those times where you get that little bit of a glitch, and it's corrected at the end, and it's just so we can't fix it. That one did alright. I'm sort of a little bit concentrating here. I'm thinking on the fly. I am going to need to make a break here while I could. The reason I don't want to do it, I don't want to level crossing it, is that it can really block up road transport, so we'll break it up. You get a train that comes down here and is waiting to get out there, it just causes a traffic backlog or a jam. And that I do not want. I don't even really want that. And I don't want, I mean, I don't have much choice on it, but I'm going to have to work around it. And we might be re-engineering the road here. That track's up so high, we might have to bring it out and round it and put a bridge over it back up here further. Let's go back to the 4 lines again. We don't want 9, no, 7, 6. Don't even want 5. We want 4. This is just in preparation for when we go there. I could blow that back to there further, and can I? What can we achieve here? As I say, I don't really want a level crossing. Let's see what happens if we put a bridge in. Start the bridge. Whoa. Almost cutting under the road, isn't it? other bridge style can I have? It looks a bit warped for 1866, doesn't it? A little bit oddball, but we'll work with it. I might just upgrade that. And upgrade it, make it worthwhile upgrading. Yeah, the bridge won't upgrade. Hold on, why don't you blow that thing out of the water? Let's do this. How's it this time? That doesn't look so bad. Not excessively high. No, I can live with that. Not the prettiest bridge, but what other bridge choices have I got here? I think we'll just live with that for now. It gives us the desired result, and we'll just make a completion here with the not with that. You don't click that thing because you end up with a massive town planted right there, and then you've got to blow the town up. Right. Okay, now we've got to there. We know that, okay, we've got a passenger waiting here. Let's work with what I got for a start. I've already done that. Already done that part. Couldn't remember what I'd done. We get our coffee farm, and that's a good start. Would it pay me to? I've got to connect all this up, don't I? Why did you not tell me? Okay, what we're going to do is can't have it if I wanted to. I'm going to have to go to one of those other strange looking bridges now, tucked up out of the way. Hopefully nobody's going to sit there and stare at the bridge. I got that fixed, okay. That wasn't what I was looking at doing. I was looking at fixing this up. Right. Beautiful, Bob. Doing well. Thank you. We're connecting the yeah, coffee farms extra. There's a little divert. I mean, what I could do, and there's absolutely nothing stopping me. I got that little diversion there. You get whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. But I do want to. If I don't fix this, it's going to create me a nuisance little skinny road. I don't like those little skinny roads in town. Now, see, I've got the farms on the other side. It's going to be interesting to see how it pulls on this farm. See what it wants to extract, or they're all just going to provide grain at this stage. One up there for now. Yeah, I'm here doing it. Well, got the guys out there working on the job. We'll set this one up first. E. Here we go. E. I've got this one. It's a lot harder to do this when you're trying to record a video. If you're just sort of sitting there and you're plodding along with it, you know, something that's going on in your head. You're just really thinking about that. But I've got to be conscious that people are watching the video. Otherwise it seems like a silent movie. And I don't want to create a silent movie. If I'm not speaking very much, it's because I'm actually thinking. These alcohol factories generally don't require a lot of that's not alcohol, that's a U-twerp. Actually, you might pay to put a few more extras on that. That'll do that one. And now that other farm. That one. And then do that other farm here, and I think we've gone pretty close to our hour. In fact, I think I've gone over it. So we get this set up, and then I'll close off the video, and Might even potter around with it so that when we go back to episode 4 there's something actually worth talking about. Yeah, it's actually, it's really, I mean, well, I'm actually enjoying showcasing is these new industries, and these track patterns. I haven't, as yet, I have not seen anybody using them in a video. So I'm missing a No, I'm not missing a signal. I don't know what's going on there. Actually, I could be missing a signal. We went for track. Signals are set too far back for here. That's something you've got to watch. If you get them set back too far, things just sit and wait. Yeah, the last recorded signal was way back here somewhere. So it's registering from here as being coming. There's nothing to trigger it on the way up there. Those crazy little anomalies. Now, see, because that train's going to pull out across the path of these ones. Now this is waiting for that. I haven't gone close enough to my junctions here. Now things are clearing, look at that. I like it when these things work, you get the trains crisscrossing each other and the signals going off. Makes it actually quite interesting to watch. It's one of those things in model railway that you like to get right, you know. Particularly if you're using a computerized chip system where the things are digital. You can actually, they'll take control of them. You can actually program so that they're more controlled by the digital system. I haven't put any signals up that line, have I? There were no signals on that line, which is interesting. Somehow I'd managed to miss them all. Hang on, where do I want to start that? I started there. Always looking for the direction of that arrow to make sure it's actually going the right way on the line. Well, that's this one here. Some of these are quite full. We should start be getting a freight transfer from one line to. Yeah, see that grain is actually coming off the Wivenhoe line. It's waiting to go out on the main trunk, which goes down here. It'll take it to that grain, not that grain, but that cattle farm. That's what we're looking for. Is that freight transfer, and we'll get the same up here as this will works on too. Essentially what's happening is that the grain from there, and is going to there. It's also going to here. Not in a roundabout way yet, but it's going from there and that one. They're feeding that, so you get the alcohol. It feeds the fish farm, but once it's done those, the excess comes up to here. It will send it to those and then it'll come to here, and then it'll get dropped off at this on this platform here, on here, then it'll go out via road transport to this cattle farm there. And this is one of the cool things that I was really wanting to see the movement of, you know, and with what I've tried, and it's been very successful. You get all this movement, and like you got these other products here, like your milk and your wool. They don't all just happen at the same time. You'll get the one that's with the biggest requirement, you know, which will move first. We need, well, this is a really important industry here. It might sort of seem it's looking for they call it wood pulp, or basically sawdust. You can only get that from certain sawmills. Let's see where the sawmill that we'll find out where it's supplied. That's interesting that we don't have it on the map. That's paper there, just from now. What I might have to do, before I close off this video, I'm going to do this. Oh, it's not here. It didn't load in. That one's sand. I noticed like I had them running and I took them out and I put them back. And I think there's an order in which you need to. I'll tell you who to double check that with is Danny Min. The other thing too is some of these, there'll be a sawmill somewhere, and as the game progresses, it may start producing, you know, wood pulp or sawdust down the track. We will find out that as we go along, because it's all part of getting this mail system working. You need paper to make the mail work. Yeah, all the forests are at the other end here. I could trigger a thing up here if I wanted to, but I'm not going to be producing the sawdust and stuff. I was hoping. I know there is a sawmill in here. Whether the loading order is out of whack or I'm not sure. But yeah, if some of it doesn't make sense, go on over to Danny Min. Look up. I was trying to think what you type in Danny 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 MIN. It's Yols. I think he spells it but it's actually YEOL Industries. He's actually, it's not on a map like this. He's just got a flat map where he's explaining how all the industries work. Now, in there he does mention something about the loading. You know, you can change your loading order. In fact, I'll do that. I'm not going to do it now because I want to carry on a bit. You can change your loading order of all your mods. You can set them in, you know, different ways to operate. So, in fact, in the next video, I will try to remember to do that. Now, I will do a video separate on that actually, on how to download mods, and some have to be loaded for others because some overwrite the odd one, you know. So just things to bear in mind. Generally, that they all load pretty well, but yeah, I can't remember which one it is. YOL's industry mods has to go. I think it's YOL's industry mods have to load before the Magnetic Reaper ones. I think the Magnetic Reaper have the ability to overwrite and do certain, you know, create extra things, which I'm not sure. Now this one here just may be that we're not in the right era yet for that for it to produce. Because what happens, some of these will actually were a sawmill. Actually, what a forest too. Yeah, if it just goes straight to a sawmill. Now, that sawmill there could, at some stage, start producing sawdust. And that's the thing. At the moment, it's just showing producing planks. We're only in 1868, but yeah, it could start producing. There's another one there too. As time progresses and goes through different eras, different industries produce different, because eventually down the track we're going to be producing electronics. Electronics come out of a goods factory. You'll notice with the icons here, we're buying vehicles. I'll find a road depot to do it with. Well, it doesn't have to be a road vehicle, it doesn't matter what it is, but you got bread, cheese, and that one there is a fairly important one. But then you got bauxite. Bauxite doesn't appear till the 1900s, because you're going to make aluminium or aluminum, wherever you live. That fodder doesn't get produced until I think about 1890 or 1900. You got cars, there's no cars on it, but you have to manually. That's why you want to do this to electronic devices. It's showing a little laptop there, and you've got a microwave there. You'll see. The glass doesn't show up just yet, you know. The glass you're going to have to you find the glass industry at the right period of time. It's showing a sandpit there, which what you're going to need for this. Yes, I think some of these don't show up in here until the. What always amazes me is the oil rigs. You know, like I've got no water on this map, so I can't show you those. Oil should not be here, even in the standard transport vehicle till after the 1900s. If you remember, if you're knowing about the motor industry, the automotive industry. They would buy their fuel from a pharmacy or a chemist shop, And that's where you went. You didn't go to a service station. You went to. I mean, these are other things which we will be adding in later on to make it more interesting. A lot of those things did not exist, and in the basic, I mean, that's what's made this mod here, these mod series, really good. Is that you've got these industries which will come online according to the era. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've gone long enough. But what I'll do is I'll create a video where we just look at obtaining mods from the Steam Workshop, and there's a couple of other places where you can get mods, you know, which you have to download as a zip file and unzip them and then put them in the correct directory. I think there's possibly already mods, videos out there on that stuff. So yeah, I'll have a look. I don't want to replicate. I don't want to produce something everybody else is doing. What I want to do is produce stuff that the type of videos I'm after producing is just some of the stuff that I'm not seeing covered. Like these here, I've never seen these covered in anybody's video, and I don't know why. That people don't realise they're there and how they work. But I've always wanted, I mean, even in Transport Fever 1, there were mods which upped the ante on the whole industry thing, you know, and toward the end I got hold of a couple where it was very, very similar to these, what's happening here. It just made the game so much more interesting, but nigh on impossible to play in full cost mode. You know, you got if you happen to buy some of these industries, I don't know if there's prices here for them. Yeah, look at that. QuickBot is a basically a. Now you wouldn't put QuickBot down there, but that's a lot of money. It's a shop. That's all it is. Hang on. Oh well. Not going to do any harm. I can pop it here somewhere. I think I can. Which way around does it face? That way. Might have my spin around the right direction. That bit sticking out the back was confusing me. I think this is coffee and alcohol. It's like a alcohol and bread is what the yeah, see, alcohol and food. So it's like a upmarket restaurant. Now you can plop that, but you saw that was $11 million. So you've got to have $1 billion, a couple of $1 billion in the bank before you even start with it. You know, so. If you're starting at 1850, the maximum you can borrow is about $10 million. So it's going to cost more than the maximum loan you can afford. That's why the guys that I know that are using these we're all playing in sandbox mode, so we can get these to work. When you've got a cheese shop, that was a QuickBot. And you got, I don't know what the pub's worth. Hey man, $11 million for a pub. $11 million for a tool shop. What's that cheese shop cost? I think something's wrong here. Now, I have owned a coffee lounge in New Zealand. I didn't pay anywhere near $11 million for it, I can tell you that. Seems everything's $11 million. That's just a... Maybe these guys only know to type 11 million, or the really good friends of Joe Biden or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, $1 trillion. I need $1 trillion loan. That one's 12 million. Post op, yeah, the post, yeah, mail things at there. 26 million, yeah. We need to be able to borrow $1 trillion So or we've got to learn how to tax all these people in the game to get some revenue out of the revenue, and then just getting it off transporting goods. Yeah, so just give you an idea. So that's how it works. But it's about having. There's probably somebody out there that can, that does play it with cost on, but it's about having the added opportunity to move, to move stuff. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. It's always going to depend on how you operate, what sort of person you are. Where I actually, I ended up, I had a stroke in 2003, and I had a neurosurgeon tell me I'd never be able to operate a computer again. So my wife and son got me the computer. Well, I already had the computers. They got me the original Train Fever. It was part of a therapy thing, and what happened is that because I'd already years and years earlier I'd had model railways. I've always sort of run the no cost thing. Occasionally I'll run costs, but I run it because it gives me an opportunity to do what I could never do on a model railway. On a model railway, I can't pick up coal over here and move it to there, All I can do is have some little train that goes round around circles, and I had to sort of, use my brain to, but obviously that neurosurgeon wasn't very well informed. But anyway, that's not important, that part. You're either a victor or a victim, and I don't like being a victim for it. I'd rather be a victor. So basically I've managed to turn this into doing what I do here, and I'm pretty happy with it, And these extra challenges that are in the game are really, really well worth having. Unless you're just the purest transport people that want to run all the vehicles on the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the road. There you go. It was one of the things that was, and I eventually found that the mod, and when I do that mod download thing, I'll show you this, because if you're into, say, doing British Rail or emulating British Rail, you really want to make the things look relatively authentic anyway. So there's a ton of British Rail stuff on Steam, thanks to I'll show you them, Mad Hatter and a few of those guys, Young Lennon, and there's a heap of people on there just knocking out stuff, and it's all really good. But yeah, I think I've gone long enough on this particular hour, or more than an hour. We didn't achieve much. All we did was put this line here in. But you'll see a method to my madness. In fact, I might blow all this up here and fix this here, because I don't like the look of it. It is not what I like to knock out. And then I'll come back in the next video. Anyway, you have a good one. Remember, you get out of life what you put into it. You can't get something out of something you don't give something time to, and whether this is just a relaxing thing for you or it's a therapy, either way, you'll get out of it what you put in, and I just found what I'm excited about these mods, because they give the game a whole new extra added value. So yeah, that's it. I haven't got any more to say, so I'm going to let you go, and you have a good one. I'll just turn him off. I don't like, he's rude, I'm talking. Yeah, so I'll let you go, and watch out. This was episode 3, and I'll continue taking this right up to as late as I can. I'll try and knock out a couple in a week. I'll see how I go. It's going to, I mean, I do have other things which I have to achieve in a week. So, but yeah, you have a really good one, and I'll see you next video. Okay, bye.